And I'll sign t-shirts if you give me a pen.
Well, they won't see on the shirt.
Let's give it up for Vinny, the Gangster Squad, and this fantastic place. Some people say Vinny ruined this place because it used to be known for small pussy. What's the difference between a transsexual, a beautiful transsexual, and a transgender woman like me? $120,000. You know, we just celebrated Columbus Day. How many Italians do we have in here?
Yeah.
A lot of Italians in here. Okay, all four of my grandparents were from Calabria, which is really part of Italy, although they think it's maybe not. Four grandparents from Calabria, Provincia Cosenza, and I can tell you I love Italian people, Italian food. But no matter how much I transition from male to female, I ain't giving up my brojol. I'm gonna keep that baby. Could come in handy someday. You know, Tommy sang a song, Roadhouse. How was that song? Phenomenal, right?
Roadhouse, yeah.
That reminds me of a bar in Hackensack that my friend Diane, a trans friend, and I went to. And when we heard this music coming from this bar, and we figured we gotta go in. It sounds hot. We go in, we're only 1 foot in, and there's a guy named Butch with nose rings and tattoos all over. Big guy, and he says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, stop. You can't come in here. We don't serve transgender in here." I said, "So what? I'm not a cannibal. I don't eat transgender." So my friend Diane nudges me in the side and says, "Well, speak for yourself." So it made him laugh. So he says, "All right, guys, girls, whatever you are, come on in. What do you want to eat?" So I wanted to get it back at him a little bit. So I said, "You know what you do? In a pansexual, put some gender fluid and grill it. Grill a transgender fillet and make it gender non-conforming." And he said, "Get the hell out of here." And then so she said, Diane said to me, "Don't worry about it. Let's go to the car. We'll do some brajol." You know, so anyway, it's I want to say this about Halloween coming up. I grew up in Mount Vernon until I was 14, and I moved to New Rochelle. I was an Italian-American kid on the block. The most important day, maybe in all of the year, was Mischief Night. I don't know if you guys served that. We didn't throw eggs, though. We threw bricks. You know? And related to that, the night after was a very important night for me, because I never came out to anybody until later. But when I was 12 years old, I was putting on women's clothes. So it was not all right to do any other day of the year except Halloween. But I could tell you, on Halloween, I was scarier than any ghost or goblin was. You know, some people say that being transgender is against religion. It's against God. It's not natural. You shouldn't be trying to be who you're not, that type of thing. I can tell you the only commandment that I violate, and I do violate it, is coveting thy neighbor's Manolo Blahniks or Jimmy Choo's. And that's one that I violate. I want to tell you this little story about when I first was transitioning. I used to go to this place called Fox's, this store, and it was phenomenal because it was an open dressing room. You could go in the dressing room, and I like women still. So I go in the dressing room and I would see all these women. So I was putting on this dress, and like this one, it has a zipper. You have to go up with the zipper. It's very hard. And this woman next to me, it was an open dressing room, she says, "Let me help you. I'll help you." and she was really hot. So I said, yeah, good, come on over. So she comes over, she's behind me, she's helping me zipper it up. She's got it almost all the way up. And then she says, let me fix something in the front. And then she saw that I had a rise. She comes around the front, and I was embarrassed. So I put my hands over it so she wouldn't see. She says, what are you worried about? I got one of those too. So that's a little bit of my my humor, and I want to say something. When I was first transitioning with butterflies, that was my analogy. That I starting out as like a worm, then I went into being a chrysalis, then I became this frenetic moth. I was all over the place. And then I was trying to become a beautiful butterfly. These big, beautiful wings that people were idealizing and everything. But my wings, unfortunately, one was broken, one was torn. I couldn't really fly or anything like that. But I was happy, at least, to have some wings. Very nice to be here tonight. And give it up. And thank you, Vinny. And thank you to the Gangster Squad. Fantastic. And I was glad to see Jimmy join. What? Oh, I thought you said something. Okay. All right, great. Everybody have a happy Halloween. We're down at Cutting Room on Halloween, if that was going to be announced. On October 31st, it's a Monday night. The show starts at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a phenomenal show.
Let's give it up for Fran.
Yay, Fran!
Want to bring the guys back up? I know it was a short break, but we want to get rocking again before it rains again. Let's bring back